Hello and welcome to Watercooler for today, June 19th. That's at least when we're recording. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to those listening, and happy Friday to the guys who I'm talking to. This is the show where I, Chris Loxamana, hang out with my Corolla Digital friends. We drink something. Usually it's beer. So I have whiskey today. We all kind of have something different because we're all at our respective homes. And we just kick it Philly style. With me, let's start it off with Matt Fondiler. We got Outdoor Matt in the house.
Hey, brother.
Hey, brother. Good to see you. Cheers. Gary Smith, a.k.a. Uncle Patch, a.k.a. Big G, is also here.
All right. Well, just because you cheers, but just because you took it there, have things gotten tough? Have you moved into the maxi pad?
Wait, what?
You said we're all in our respective homes, but you're clearly in the Laxi pad. Based on
I am. Oh yeah, you're right. I don't know. This feels like home to me. Just as long as I'm not at work.
It's more home than work. I agree.
Yeah, that's right. All right. We also got Caelan Biehn here. He's back.
What's going on?
What is going on, Caelan?
Yeah, buddy.
He texted me today. He's really worried. I'm going to be like, guys, traffic is back. Dun dun dun.
It is back. Well, luckily, only on the way home so far. The ride into work is still fine, but that's always the worst of the two anyway. So,
Caelan, do me a favor. Let me see your hands. I'm impressed. I thought Caelan might be playing video games while he was doing this.
He put the controller in his lap.
I just put it down. It was very easy to do that.
Yeah, he's not playing games because he's not even wearing his gamer headset.
Well, you wouldn't probably be wearing that headset.
Yes, I would.
Caelan and I. Oh, would you? Okay. Caelan and I have been very much awaiting a console game. That is more, but that came out today, and I know Caelan's excited to play it.
Oh, what's it called again? Sorry.
Oh, The Last of Us Part 2.
Oh, I played The Last of Us at your house, right, Caelan, or at?
Nope, different game.
That was okay. Never mind. And Mike Dawson's here.
Hey, what's happening?
What?
Don't have a drink to cheers you guys with today. I got too much work to do, but I'm happy to be here.
Don't sweat it.
All women.
I'm not like you, Matt. I'm not a functional alcoholic.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I'm barely functioning today.
The only thing I can do while I'm drinking is drink.
Yeah.
That's not true. I've seen you smoke too.
That's true. I can.
Matt, you're barely functioning today?
Yeah, I did. Speaking of being a functioning alcoholic, I definitely had myself a midweek twister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Nothing
like a little bender.
I'll back that up. Matt was struggling today at work. At one point, I believe Caelan asked him something, and Matt went, "I'm so sorry. I need water. I'll be back. I need water."
That's true.
Oh wow.
That is actually true. Yeah. Well, I was saying the worst part about the hangover is you think it's done, and then all of a sudden I was just talking to them about lunch or something, and I just got hit with a second wave, and I was like, "Good. I'll be back." I was fine. I didn't throw up or anything.
Yeah, that's rough. The worst hangover I've seen at work is actually from somebody else in this chat. He's smiling. It's Mike Dawson.
It's gotta be me.
Years ago, I remember he's come in and he is just. But what's weird is he still did his job, but he was in so much pain. One of the times was when we used to go to Amalfi for the Corolla show. We used to go there every week and do a live show out there just in the middle of a restaurant where they didn't even have a venue. Well, weirdly enough, they did have a venue. They had a venue upstairs, but we didn't really use it. We actually would bring in our own makeshift stage and sit up in the dining room and do shows out of there.
We did a live Watercooler show there.
You did.
At Amalfi?
Yeah. No, at Room 5.
Oh, Room 5, yeah, upstairs, yeah. Which was the venue upstairs, which, yeah, was a great venue. But doing the live shows at Amalfi, in a place where the acoustics aren't the best.
It's just a bar.
The stage was made
It was a
by
nightmare
us.
to begin with.
Yeah, you had to put the stage in Dawson's truck or Rob's truck and just haul it out there.
To say it was a struggle was an understatement, and the crowd was always a very strange mix. It was about 7 feet. Maybe it was like 12 feet from the stage to the first table of people who had not signed up for this and were completely confused as they tried to eat their Italian food.
Yeah.
It was very strange.
But some of the best ACS, the best Corolla shows were recorded there. Elliot Gould, Joe Coy. I think Wriggle's been there before. I think we've been doing Corolla Classics, and we've been playing random shows from there. But but one time Dawson came and yeah, he was having a rough go at it. And I just
Me and my
remember,
neighbor had partied until like 8 o'clock in the morning.
that's what it was. And I was like,
And,
"Jeez, he is hurting." But still did his
yeah, I
job.
was dehydrated.
Yeah.
I was hurting pretty bad. That was the night that I was introduced to the vitamin B dropper. One of the chicks who was, God, who was the company we were working with?
Jash.
Yeah. One of the chicks from that handed me this dropper of vitamin B, told me just to take a few droplets of it and wait it out. And I was actually able to fucking get vertical because of this stuff. It's pretty remarkable.
I don't think I've ever had a hangover cure other than time. I don't know if anything has really worked for me.
Or alcohol.
Time and water.
More alcohol, sure. Water, of course. Has anybody ever done the IV?
No.
I bet that works.
I've always wanted to. I know people who swear that it works.
I'm a big fan of the product Liquid IV, but that's just literally like powder electrolytes. But no, I've never done that's just too real for me.
Me
like
too.
if somebody has to like come to my hotel room and like put a needle in my arm because that's just how hard I've been partying. Like it feels wrong. I don't know. It's not for me.
I completely agree. It's a little too real. It's a little too much I can just handle it. I can handle a hangover. I don't need to put an IV in me unless.
Yeah.
Now, I do this thing now where whenever I go to Vegas or I go on a weekend trip, and I don't know if it's because of it probably is because of my age and my experience. I always go extra hard the first night, and then whenever we get to the second night, I'm still hungover, and I don't go anywhere nearly as hard. And I notice all my friends have been doing that lately too, so I wonder, yes, and if I should be planning for that now. It's just on the second night, I'm going to be okay.
Now wait, you say that's because of your age and experience? I feel like it was in my early 20s where I would make that mistake, and I have since learned to temper the first night so that night 2 can also be fun.
You're right, but
Sometimes
I used to be able to do both nights. That's what I'm saying. Like back in the day, I would be.
Sometimes, Chris, tell me if you notice this. If you go really hard the first night and then you just get enough sleep and you're just, you're hurting the second night, you can still have a great time because you already killed it the night before.
Yeah. Oh,
sometimes you have a better night on the more mellow night because you're still drinking. You're just not powering through it like Jesus knows what.
There is no better thing to get you going than second wind. If you get that second wind and it's that feeling of, oh my God, I think I'm fine now and I want to go again, like that, it's just a little boost. And the second wind of a Vegas trip or any trip of a drinking trip is very dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
And I've gone it a few times and I love it. I love the second wind. I remember Gary's, we went to San Diego for Gary's thing where he wouldn't let the people sit on the train.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, I remember I got
killed that old Asian couple.
I'm still getting letters about that. Yeah.
How dare you?
I'm sorry.
How dare you?
Well, anyway,
back.
Yeah.
So I don't know what this story is, but definitely did not need to involve that portion.
I know I shouldn't have. That was a low blow. I'm sorry. I apologize.
So thank you, story.
But yeah, I remember being pretty loose and going out and trying to start dance parties out on the sidewalk.
That was super fun. We ended up that was a weird night where like a lot of the guys had tapped out. I think it was the second or third night. It was towards the end of the trip. And Chris and I, if memory serves, somehow just ended up starting to go shot for shot, but like not for any reason. It wasn't like we were challenging each other. And then we just found ourselves around 1:30 or 2 pretty loose. And Chris was like, hand me that Bluetooth speaker. We're going out.
Oh, God, I did do that.
Yeah. No, it was awesome. Chris took one of those like a UE boom and he linked it up to his phone and he was like, we're going out. And as these bars empty and all these drunk people come out into the street, Chris just started doing dance parties with random people and they were loving it. Chris was killing the game.
He's the fucking mayor, man.
That's how it is. Key to the city. Now, Caelan, are you worried about this traffic that you're hitting now? Because I've been hitting it too, and the Friday traffic is notoriously the worst traffic.
I mean, I'm not worried about it. I'm sad.
I'm
that
sad
it's
too. I was
come
getting
back, but I'm worried about when the morning traffic starts again.
So here's the
Because
thing, and you guys tell me if you've noticed this. In my experience lately, the traffic has been ramping back up, but it is, whereas rush hour used to go from about 2 p.m. to 7 p.m., especially on a Friday, it was you got to be on the road by 1:15, 1:30 or you're just screwed. It's still pretty much regulated to those horrible hours, like 4 to 6 is really where it's heavy. The more off hours, like if you can get out of there at 3 o'clock, you're a lot better off than you would have been 5 months ago.
Yep. Whenever Gary and I find ourselves in that sweet spot, we look at each other and go, "Fief," because there's a PlayStation at work. It's like, all right, well, let's play a couple of video games real quick before and let traffic die down just a touch. Yeah, because it is bad. But I was expecting it to kind of ease into traffic, and it feels as if it is more of an abrupt change.
Came back.
That worries me. Yeah, but look, if it's a sign that people are going back to work and things are reopening, people are able to make money again, then so be it. It's fine. I was just getting spoiled, and I'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Now, a couple of, or actually, yeah, last week, or maybe 2 weeks ago, we were talking about PCD, Peak Cameron Diaz. That was last week. And
Was that last week?
It was last Wednesday, 10 days ago.
yeah, it was last week. And we're talking about the movie There's Something About Mary. One of the greatest comedies in my lifetime, I think. It really is just solid, pure, and hilarious, and it's just a good, solid movie. At least for me growing up, and it was just the right amount of raunchy, silly, and a perfect comedy that embodies that time period of what comedies were. And I remember watching it, and I watched it in theaters with my mom. And I specifically remember the infamous scene that it's the scene you want to watch least with your mom in that movie. And it's the one where Ben Stiller is getting ready for his date, but he's going out with a loaded gun, Matt.
That's right.
He's going out. It's like you're going out with a loaded gun. And I was young enough to where I didn't know, when I watched this movie, I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know what he was doing in the bathroom with the Sears catalog or whatever he was looking at.
Bull shit.
I really wasn't. I'm not kidding. I had no
how old
idea.
were you?
Here's the thing.
I was probably 12, 11.
If I hadn't just looked up the date, though, we were 14.
Really?
Chris is a little younger than us, though.
98, so maybe you were 13?
98. I was born end of 85. Yeah, so I was probably 12, 13.
Okay.
Just on the cusp. That might have been the movie that introduced me to such an act. But I remember watching that. And
That's why your hair looks so good always, isn't it?
Too pure. And I remember watching it and thinking, for those who have not seen the movie, there's a scene where Ben Stiller masturbates and gets semen on his ear, and it's dangling from his ear for a good part of the scene, to where then Cameron Diaz thinks it's hair gel, takes it from his ear, puts it in her hair, and then it's the movie poster and the iconic image of the movie of the front of her hair just standing straight up, crisped up. And I remember thinking, what is that? What is going on? And everybody in the theater was just going, gross, gross, gross. Well, I just found out that producer Laura Lee also saw that movie with her son, Uncle Patch,
and her husband. I was probably 13 or 14, and I think that it was, I can't remember whose idea it was to go see it, but my parents definitely had no idea what this movie was about or any content. And I just remember after we left, I thought the movie was freaking hilarious, but my parents were absolutely horrified that they their young, whatever son to see this horrible movie, so gross or whatever. But in fact, Laura Lee called me after the PCD episode and goes, "Do you not remember seeing that? Do you remember how horrified your father and I were?" Yeah, Mom,
I love that your parents took you to that movie and it traumatized them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still to this day, it haunts her.
Well,
I never had that experience with a movie, but there was around the same age, like 13, 14, Robin Williams was doing a stand-up comedy tour for the first time since the 80s or whatever. And he was doing a show, I think it was at the Universal Amphitheater. And I went with my parents expecting to see the fucking genie from Aladdin doing a bunch of wacky voices. And his act was so raunchy. And the image that me and my parents will probably never forget is Robin Williams has his arm in like kind of his elbow pit,
like the crevice of his
and is miming that he's eating someone out. I'm not going to do it, but
you kind of did it already.
I kind of did a little bit.
Kind of did it already.
But the crowd was just roaring with laughter, and I mean, myself and my parents were fucking mortified.
Nothing a little hot tub time wouldn't cure.
Yeah, that's true. Gary's doing the lean back.
You go, Gary Glasses is here. Caelan. Now, Caelan must have a much different experience than us.
Yes.
I have a couple pretty bad experiences, honestly.
Yeah, I know Caelan has one in particular, but I'd love to hear what's going on, because Caelan's dad is a movie star.
Yes. So when I was very young, I mean, there's the Terminator. There's the sex scene between my dad and Linda Hamilton, the Terminator. And I don't even remember watching that as a child. Like, I remember that scene just not existing within the movie. So,
you kind of went through that real quickly. For people who don't know, Caelan's dad is an actor who is in the Terminator.
And who bangs Linda Hamilton.
Who bangs Linda Hamilton in the movie. And poor little Caelan had to watch his dad. Oh,
yeah.
Great.
So there was that. I don't even remember that, like, being in the movie when I watched it. So I guess that
blocked it out of your memory.
There was another time, though, that my dad, it was like his first go. He made his own movie. He wrote it, he directed it, he produced it, he starred in it. And he starred alongside my stepmom. And I'm like 17, 18 at this point.
Yeah.
So it's like his premiere night of his movie. And I go, and to my left are my two older brothers. And to my right are my two uncles. And I'm sitting all in the row with them and watching the movie. And wouldn't you know, there is a very graphic sex scene between my dad and my stepmom on screen that was horrifying. And it was the most awkward experience of my life. I didn't know what to do. I was frozen, surrounded by my family, watching my dad have sex. It was awful. It was pretty awful.
You guys don't screen that movie at the family reunions or like Thanksgiving?
That was the last time I saw that movie.
Yeah, because Caelan, since your dad is a movie star, has been in a lot of great movies, can you separate the character he's playing from being your dad? Like, if you watched, or how was it back then? How is it now? Like, if I played your dad in a sex scene right now, would you be able to watch and be like, okay, that's fine? Or would it still weird you out?
I'm super confused by this question.
Like, when you watch it, do you think, Dad, what are you
character?
doing? Ew, gross. Or is it, oh, okay, this is part of the character. I'm okay.
No, it's gross.
All right, so now I have a question. Caelan, before the mics heated up, you said you didn't have a flick in. I think, unfortunately, you are incorrect. I'm going to need you to go ahead and flick that movie that you saw.
We got to know the title. Yeah. What is it?
I will tell you that the title of it is called The Victim. But I'll also tell you, I think I was so traumatized by that scene that the rest of the movie just went totally blank. And I don't even remember like what happened afterwards. So.
Like a blank slate.
The movie is named The Victim, and that's what Caelan ended up.
How weird, Caelan, that when you were young and you watched The Terminator, your mind deleted the sex scene and you remembered the entire movie without the sex scene. But now when you're a lot older and you watch The Victim, which came out in 2011, all you remember is the sex scene and the rest of the movie has been deleted.
Now, did your mind delete the sex scene, or did any of your, and I give this question to the whole group, did your parents do what I remember from my childhood, which was, for a few years there were movies that my dad wanted to show me, but he would keep the remote real close and then fast forward through specific scenes. And I never understood why until much later, obviously. But that was definitely a move that my dad did several times.
It could have been that. I vaguely remember maybe my mom's hand going over my eyes for that amount of time. But just continuing on with the awkward sex parents train, I got two more Not as bad as the last one. That's the worst one. But one is I saw 8 Mile with my entire family in the theater. That one was extremely uncomfortable during that sex
pretty
scene.
rough sex in that scene, yeah.
And also, my dad would always just watch random movies like at the house. Like he'd be just like, "Oh, I just rented this movie. I'm watching it." And every once in a while, I'd be like, "Okay, I'm gonna watch it with you." And I remember being fairly young, and he rented a movie that I believe is called Bully. And it's about this like murder that happened in Florida, but there is some very graphic nudity and sex scenes in that movie. And I was like, again, like 13 at the time. And that was also like the second most awkward experience. He didn't say anything. Like it was just nothing happened.
Yeah.
It was just me and my dad watching sex scenes on the TV together.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's almost a game of chicken. Like, who can just last the longest without saying anything? And sometimes it just wins where everybody just moves on.
Moved on.
Because
I still remember that vividly.
Yeah, I know that. I still get that if I watch a movie with my mom and there's a sex scene or there's something. I still feel that way. Like, should I break this tension, make a joke, say something, or just let it go? And same thing. Like I've taken my mom to watch Joe Coy, and there's some dirty jokes in there, and it's awkward how hard my mom is laughing. I look over, I'm like, you're not supposed to get that, Mom. So
she's a real person, Chris.
You shut up.
She's not just your mom.
You're totally right. You're completely right. What about you, Mike? Any awkward experiences with Mona D?
I'm sure there are several of them, but I'm still traumatized by Caelan's story. So
yeah, Caelan.
I'll just leave it there.
Okay.
You're not going to top that one.
I don't think there's nothing that's going to beat that.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It's a unique experience, Caelan. You should at least be
You're
proud of
telling
that.
me.
Did you guys just hear the pounding on my door?
No.
My son has taken to escaping from my wife when he realizes that I'm home, and he'll just come smack my bedroom, my office door as hard as he can until I answer.
That's really cute. He knows how to knock. I heard you got him a bubble machine.
Yeah, no, I mean that was Mama who got that for him, but it's delightful. It's a cute little thing, and they drive him nuts.
Is that the equivalent of lasers or a piece of string to a cat, where they just become obsessed in the moment?
For him, at least so far, it's been more like confusion and novelty. Whereas the laser pointer just becomes all the cat knows in the whole world. But for him, he's definitely very, very interested, but he's also just not quite sure what's going on.
I've told Matt and Gary this, but remember a couple weeks ago where I talked about how I found a feral cat living underneath my house. So
one that hates you?
The one that hates me. She hisses at me, and I began feeding her every day. I bought cat food. And I put out water and food for her every day now, just because she's very cute. 2, she looks very malnourished, and 3, it's just I feel like she's my responsibility now because she lives underneath my floorboards. So I leave out food and water, and she's still very scared of me. She still hisses at me, but she also has a kitten. There's a single kitten living under there as well. And I remember talking to Gary and Matt and going, "How often does a cat just have one kitten?" And to which they responded, not often, or not very often at all. Almost, and you always, cats have multiple kittens, usually a litter of kittens. And so it made me worried. Like, I wonder, are there dead kittens underneath my floorboards? And so
most likely, yes.
Yeah, so it's hard for me to think about. And I've just been feeding, and now the kitten has been coming out to eat too. And the kitten's actually not nearly as afraid of me. And he'll go. I assume it's a boy. I don't know why, but I'll just say for the sake of the story, he'll come up and he'll like stand at my feet. I still have not pet him yet, but
you should.
I don't. He won't let me. Like I've tried. I've very slowly, but he'll like back off. So he obviously doesn't want to be pet. But he's the cutest meow in the world. And now I got a piece of string. And I've been playing with the kitten with the piece of string. He loves this string. The mom still won't have anything to do with me. But this kitten loves the string. And I've been playing with him. And I talked to Matt, and he said there's this thing called TNR. TNR?
Yeah.
TNR, trap and release. I don't know. The N just stands for and.
Neuter.
Oh, Okay, I thought it was trap apostrophe N release.
No, you just trap them, and then you're like, see you later. That's how the program works.
Chris is a terrible listener, by the way. I was there for this whole conversation. Matt clearly said neuter about 6 times.
Well, I didn't know you were.
Neuter.
That'd be great.
Neuter.
And that's what your government dollars are doing. Just trapping cats. And then
All right,
And
let's
then
let him
release
go.
them. Yeah, it's
we
and like
got that one.
apostrophe
How
and.
many more cats do we got to get today?
That's,
Trap and release.
that's basically taking over the role of Bob Barker.
Yeah,
Trap
exactly.
and release.
Trap and release. It's a great program. We're gonna start putting this. You have a cat problem? Well, let me
Let
tell
us
you.
traumatize it.
For just a moment, we will completely traumatize it for no other reason other than that we can. At which point, we will just release the cat.
We will. We guarantee. We will trap and release.
And
your cat.
release.
Yeah.
Not going to
Most
keep it long.
companies, a lot of companies trap the cats. They don't release them.
That's right.
That's why you come to us.
Yeah, some even
It's a
neutered
vanity
them, not
project,
us.
really.
But
Wow,
yeah, so
Chris,
it was
what a
trap, neuter,
businessman.
trap and release. Well,
You know,
I would-
neutering
if-
costs a lot of money. We could actually save money by not neutering them at all. Let's just. Sorry.
well, sadly, I was gonna get to that part where they trap the cat, they neuter them or spay them, and then they release them. And do they give them shots and everything too?
Maybe I don't know.
Maybe.
Usually it's Captain Morgan.
Yeah, shout out Captain Morgan. Hopefully they get that second wind. But
Yeah.
anyway, so I'm looking into how that works, and I will be doing that because this cat, I mean, obviously can have babies. There's this other male cat. He's like that silver blue color with white paws, and he's buff and he's big and he looks like a badass. And every time Jen walks by, he kind of just like relaxes and like, "What's up?" Yeah, I
Yeah.
did that. Like and he eats the food. He kind of just owns the place, the neighborhood. And Jen doesn't want him banging that cat anymore. Well, I mean, I guess they can still bang, but he doesn't want that cat impregnating the mom that lives underneath the
They
floor.
can still bang now.
I
Yeah,
like to imagine that's a direct quote from Jenny. Like, I don't want that cat banging that mom.
That's good.
Yeah, I don't really picture her
You
saying
need to
that
get
either,
a
Gary.
trap and release so that mama cat is so traumatized that she won't go near that buff daddy cat.
yeah. But that's what's going on with the cat. So I think I got to look into some TNR, trap, neuter, release. But I'll show you guys a video of this cat if you can just look at my phone. Let's see if I can. Yeah, see, there's the cat with string. I'm playing with string. That's how small he is. See that?
That's a
So-
kitty. Kitty.
Very cute. Very.
Did
cute.
you name him?
No, I told Jen I didn't want to name him. She wants to.
Well, maybe if you let her name him, then you got a better chance of keeping him.
I don't know if I want to keep him. I just want to feed him, keep him alive. I mean, I think I don't know. Are they better off on the streets? Or, I mean, on the streets underneath the thing? Because they obviously aren't used to human interaction, and they're getting fed.
I mean, you hear animal activists all the time say, leave the animals under the floorboards of an apartment in Long Beach. They're way better off than being cared for by humans.
Plus, we're not allowed to have. Weirdly enough, we're not allowed to have animals in our apartment.
It's not that weird.
Yeah. Well, but we can have them under our apartment, I guess. But I think they're fine. I think we've developed a relationship that is respectful. They know I'm feeding them in the morning. They like wait outside the door now because they know, and I'll just keep feeding them. I don't mind. And soon enough, they will let me pet them. And that is that. Now, Caelan and Gary, your kids are about to turn 1 very soon, very very soon, and I'm just making sure that the smash cake is still in order.
Well, my daughter's turning 1 sooner, like I think about a month before Gary's. And yes, the smash cake. There's no way there isn't going to be a smash cake.
Yeah.
We'll make sure that there's a smash cake. You did inform me last week, which I didn't know about, that we are supposed to make our own smash cake in which the ingredients are modified. So there's just so much sugar, it wouldn't even taste good if any of us were to eat it.
I didn't say you're
I
supposed
thought
to,
you
but
just
most
went
of
out
the
and bought like a little mini cake, and then you were like, no, you're supposed to make it with just so much sugar that any adult wouldn't even like it.
Well, no, that's Well, that's not what I heard him say, and that sounds completely backwards to me. I think that you want to make. Well, look, I think there's going to be 2 cakes. There's going to be 2 smash cakes because if you think that I'm not getting in on that smash cake, you're high. So there will be one for my son and one for me. And
Gary's getting his own smash cake.
Oh,
Gary's.
just for the Instagram photos. That'll be amazing.
That's hilarious.
Just matching.
You do have to get really, really, really drunk though, Gary. Like I want to see like full. I'm not gonna say. I just want to see you go nuts, dude.
Yeah,
I really don't know if that's going to be acceptable within the family for me to get just fucking blackout smashed at a 1-year-old.
You can eat your cake while your boy eats his cake at the same time, and you guys will look the same.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's a point.
Get this cake away from me.
There's a point of inebriation where you actually have the exact same qualities as a baby. The way you move, the way you talk, maybe even the way you think. So just hit that.
Shit your pants, just like a baby.
Hit that sweet spot to where it just brings you back to being an 11-month-old, and then smash that cake, baby.
So Matt's suggestion: does anyone know where I can get a really good Nashville hot fried chicken sandwich?
Hattie B's. It's delicious. It has nothing to do with what happened to me. All right, I think
I've been telling that story to a lot of people, Chris. A lot of people, and they all think it's hilarious.
Oh, good.
All right. To know people.
Yeah, that's comforting. All right, I think it's time for some show and tell. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Let's do some show and tell. Who wants to go
I'll
first?
go first. I'll go first because mine's actually kind of like I have a sad show and tell.
Oh God. Well, that's a great way to go. That's a great way to start things off. And I will remind everybody, if you want to watch these show and tells, we are releasing these episodes on YouTube. Just go to YouTube and search Chris Loxamana. What happened?
Your mic went out for a second, but you came back.
Oh, okay.
A second.
Chris,
Chris,
huh?
Are you not eligible for a vanity URL? Let's get this set up.
I think it's Chris Loxamana 1 because the other guy got Chris Loxamana.
Well, that's good because that's the name of the show.
I think we should use the other vanity name that's familiar with the show, which is Soft Shoes 779862.
Yeah,
Sour Shoes. Get it right.
Shoes. There you go.
That's
Soft
good.
Shoes.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right, so my sad show and tell. I very excitedly a couple months ago showed you guys my beautiful bonsai tree that had just turned 1 year old.
Oh God!
Oh,
My bonsai
no.
tree's fucking dead. Dead. I missed fucking 1 weekend of watering this thing, and it is
Nostra Dawson called that shit.
Oh,
I'm so sad. This beautiful,
Yeah.
this beautiful thing that we used to look at with such happiness. My wife was like, maybe it'll come back. We got to put some more fertilizer down. It's got to come back. It's been like another week and a half or so, and I am just fucking destroyed. I'm so upset. But I don't know what I'm going to do. Obviously, this one's gone. I'm not going to get a new one at the end of summer. So maybe next spring. I don't know. It's rough. It's rough.
wait,
guys.
why can't you get a new one at the end of summer?
I mean, I guess I could, but that's not the time that it's going to grow a lot. I mean, the whole idea is you get it like in the spring, and then it's like kind of fun to tool around with for a little bit. But
Well, I'd say it ain't gonna die,
damn
but
it.
I'd be
Yeah.
wrong.
So rest in peace, Kate, aka Kate. My beautiful, my first bonsai. She's gone. She's gone.
Kate, rest in peace, my friend.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
That
Matt.
was my sad show.
Jeez, what a reveal. This dead-ass tree.
Oh,
That was good. It was a good ride.
yeah.
Are you doing any sort of funeral? Are you gonna like a Viking funeral?
I haven't decided yet. Maybe we will. Maybe we will.
Pay respect. All right, let's go with Dawson. You want to go?
Sure, I got to get up and grab it really quick.
Okay. Dawson
Right
with
here.
his stash, by the way.
If he fucking takes that TV off the wall mount and is like, "This is my flat screen TV."
No, kind of like that. So,
Oh, it's close.
a long time ago, when the Corolla warehouse was being cleaned out and there was a whole bunch of garbage, I found a dry erase board. I'm like, yeah, dude, I need that. So I took it, and then I was hanging out around and came up with the name of this this place here. It's the No Oasis. So I drew a really rough, horrible freaking sketch of the No Oasis and what it was. And I had Richard Stanley and his wife and their daughter over the other day. And she's like 9 or 11 or something. And she's like a killer artist. And she looks at the thing and she goes, "Can I draw that for you?" I'm like, yeah. So this now will never change. It hangs up in the studio wall. The dry erase board is no longer a dry erase board. It's a work of art.
Whoa.
Nice.
The above ground pool, the palm trees, the No
love it.
Oasis.
You know what that is? That's above ground pool.
So now I have to just get an above ground pool, and then we're really, really
And
chilling.
then you're really in business.
That's beautiful.
So
I
she
love the
drew
name.
that with like whiteboard marker.
Yeah, I only had a black one and a blue one.
I could tell.
What can you
Guys, for
do to
that.
like make sure? Can you like spray over it? Or, I mean, you don't want it to run. But
Hairspray.
if somebody
Hairspray
bumps
would work.
into it, yeah. If somebody
I keep
bumps into it with
I
their
keep it
elbow,
well out of.
Okay.
It sits up above that speaker next to the Zeppelin. Could have used for show and tell. But yeah, so that's what I got today.
I love
dig
it.
it.
Beautiful. I love the
Thanks,
name.
Mira.
I love the logo. And it worked out really well. All right, I'll go next.
Well, you know, it's not.
Caelan, you're going last.
It's not as
Okay.
good as the Maxi Pad, but it's cool.
So here's
Oh,
my
here comes-
sign.
We've done that already, haven't we?
No?
You did the
I don't
log.
think so.
Yeah, I've done the log. Okay, well, this is a piece of wood with the name Loxy chiseled in, hand chiseled and painted and finished. And it was made by a Corolla listener named Travis. Now, we know Travis from the cruise. He is married to Mizuki, who also goes on the cruise every year. And they, when we did our Seattle cruise, Travis proposed to Mizuki on the podcast. And I helped set that up and got and as a thank you, he hand chiseled the band Loxy, the name of my band, into this piece of wood and presented it to me. And I hung it with a cleat
In the Loxy pad.
in and now I put it on my wall, and which I really love. But now it feels a little too weird having that name like on my wall. And
Why?
yes, I don't know. It just feels weird. Like, okay, welcome to my place, and there's my, in big.
People have
biggest thing for
pictures
me.
of themselves.
Where else are you going to put it? In someone else's place?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I was thinking of bringing it to shows, Dawson, and anywhere we play, just put it up somewhere as like our.
I
our
thought of
sign.
that, but it's a little big to be lugging around with you.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, because
And
we
heavy.
schlep enough.
Like, you do not want to bring that to shows.
Yeah.
I will say, Travis.
Unless you make your own music festival, which you should
Okay.
do.
Challenge.
Challenge accepted. But anyway, here it is.
And it's upside
Very
down.
nice.
All right, who's next?
I'll go because mine's weak and I don't want to go last. I think we've spoken.
Mine's not much better.
Well, that's why I called it. I think we've spoken in this show before about the game LRC.
Oh yeah.
That's the name I've always known it by. Well, I think as a result of us talking about it, I was gifted a little mini version of the game in my stocking, I believe, this Christmas. But as I was looking at this, waiting for it, it looks like this version at least calls it left, center, right. So I guess that would be LCR, which I don't know. But it's a very fun, drinking party game. For those who haven't heard it, there's or haven't played it or heard us talk about it, there's 3 dice, and you roll them out, and they either have left, right, or a dot, which means center, and everyone starts with a few bucks in front of them, and if it lands on center, you put $1 in the middle, and if it lands on left, you hand $1 to the person to the left, right, so on, and at the end, whoever's still got a die at the very end of it, or still got $1 rather at the very end of it, gets to keep all the money that's in the middle. It's a fun game.
Love that. What's that shirt you're wearing?
This is a shirt that a fan sent. It's from Austin, Texas.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's just
I
a
saw
really
guitar head stuck on it.
Yeah, just as we've talked about before, if you send a comfy shirt, it gets worn. If you send a not comfy shirt, I don't know what happens to it.
And I
use it to wipe Adam's car.
I still have yet to play left, right, center, left, center, right, but I have heard it is a really, really fun game, so can't wait to do that.
When we get together at Fuzz to have our ping pong tournament, I'll bring it with me and we'll play.
I'm down, dude. That's
what's the update on that, by the way?
I don't know. Just come over when you guys want. We'll solidify a date. I won't keep that open invitation out long enough. We'll get something in the books.
I think we've got an announcement coming soon, and it seems like that might be a good way to kick off our.
Ooh, yeah. Okay, I dig it.
So stay tuned for that.
And Caelan, big pressure here, man. You're finishing it off, and you must have something really big and extravagant to share.
Well, it's so big and extravagant. I've been waiting like 7 years for it. Gary announced it earlier today on the podcast, but The Last of Us 2, I already have loaded up. A little preview. I couldn't be more excited.
Whoa, we're showing gameplay.
Gorgeous looking game.
Well, this video is going to get pulled down from YouTube now.
Yeah, no, this is going to go on Twitch. I'm putting it on Twitch.
There you go.
Okay, there you go. Now, I have a question. Isn't it now kind of a tease and like untrue that the other game, it's not The Last of Us? They should have called it the second to Last of Us. Right? Because
there might be a third. Right. You never know.
Yeah, kind of. Let's stop calling it The Last of Us. It's a big fucking tease. Yeah. Obviously, there's more.
It's a farewell tour.
Yeah. So that's how I'm gonna be spending my entire weekend.
Most of us.
I'll read the wiki on The Last of Us 2, and we can talk about the experience.
Yeah, Chris couldn't play this game. Too scary.
But Matt is right. It shouldn't be called that. If it really just spoils the end of the first one. Okay.
Yeah.
Obviously, they aren't the last of them.
Yeah.
So whatever. Hey, champ. All right. Well, I think that was a great show and tell. Good job, everybody. Matt, once again, my condolences.
Thank you.
And
okay.
Yeah. All right. Let's get our plugs in and enjoy our weekend. What do you say?
Hey.
All right, Matt. What do you got?
You can follow me on the Twitter at Matt Fondiler. And hope everybody has a great weekend. I don't really have any other plugs.
Okay. Well, same to you, and we will follow you. Caelan, what could go for you?
This week I actually have a recommendation on a new TV show that I've been watching.
A new one
that Matt told me about a while ago. Not The Shield. Haven't finished that yet. Hannibal, which just came out on Netflix, is fucking awesome. It's a great show. I'm obsessed with it. I'll watch like 3 or 4 episodes in one night. I'll stay up later than I should be so I could catch another episode. It's brutal. Chris, you could never watch this show ever. You would throw up after like 2 episodes, but it's a fucking awesome show. And it's about Hannibal Lecter, and they just cast him perfectly. So if you want a good show to watch, you're welcome.
It's very bingeable too. You really can burn through, like, because it's network TV, so they were like 43-minute episodes. So it's pretty easy to knock out a few of them in a row.
It's great.
What network? What station?
It was on CBS, which is kind of crazy because it is one of the most disgusting shows ever.
If it was on CBS, I could handle it.
Your mic's going nuts, Chris.
Messed up.
Yeah, something wrong with your mic, Chris.
But yeah, it is unbelievable that this show was on network cable because some of the images that I've seen in the past 3 or 4 days, I will have in my brain for the rest of my life.
Well, I think I could handle it.
I thought I saw it on Netflix. It's not on Netflix?
No, it is on Netflix. They just put it on Netflix.
It's a show from probably 8 years ago. It was on CBS, and it's just now the whole series is up on Netflix now.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I got it. All right. Let's go with Doss. We're gonna go.
You like it, Dawson?
God, man. I don't know. I got nothing. I'm working on an audiobook. Got 40 pages left, and then about 25 to 40 hours of editing. And it's a real pain in the ass. So if you could go to DawsonAudiobooks.com and buy one, because I usually don't make money off of these. So that'd be great if you'd buy an audiobook or all of them. They're at DawsonAudiobooks.com.
DawsonAudiobooks.com. Support Dawson, and you get a great audiobook as well. Gary, where you go for you?
Check out Days of Thunder. The last few episodes have just been excellent. I suggest the YouTube version, youtube.com/Days of Thunder. And to all four of you guys and to every listener to which this pertains, happy Father's Day. You guys all got kids or pets or something, so happy Father's Day. Give your dad a call. Everyone, just love everyone and have a good week.
1,000,000% agreed. And as for me, just please continue telling people about this show. We hope you're enjoying it, and we love doing it. So we'll see you next week. Have a great weekend. Love you all.